We're going to have a look at the international newspapers now. Florence Villeneuve is here on set with a situation in Mali getting an awful lot of attention, of course, in the French press, but also in the international papers, you found.
That's right. It's on the front page of The Independent today that takes a look at the liberation of Timbuktu and wonders at what cost was this town liberated. And there's an eyewitness account by Daniel Howard, who was the first British journalist to arrive in the ancient city. And now he described scenes of jubilation because it had nearly been a year since Islamists had taken over and imposed very strict Sharia law. So there were all these women out in the street wearing very colorful dresses and singing, etc. But he wonders, were the French soldiers too late to save some of the very precious heritage? Because he says that in the final weeks of the Islamist occupation, most of the city's historic manuscripts were burned, and he calls that apparently a bitter parting, a gesture on the part of the Islamists there.
Now, you've also pulled out a piece in the International Herald Tribune. This one's about how the US is trying to spread its influence in the region there.
That's right. This is the US Military Command in Africa, so AFRICOM. Now, it's trying to establish a drone base in northwestern Africa, according to the International Herald Tribune. Now, the idea is to increase surveillance on Islamist groups, so for now, these drones would be unarmed and strictly for surveillance. But according to the International Herald Tribune, AFRICOM has not ruled out conducting any kind of military strikes at some point if the threat worsens. Now, it's likely, according to the International Tribune, that the base will be set up either in Niger but there are also talks with Burkina Faso as well. The green light is still needed from the White House, the Pentagon, as well as Nigerian officials. But according to the International Herald Tribune, this could be a way for the U.S. to improve its limited presence in Africa.
Now, we've also been reporting here on France 24 about the continuing unrest, of course, in Egypt. That's continuing to attract the attention of the press, isn't it?
That's right. There's an analysis piece in Sharq Al-Awsat, which is a pan-Arab paper based in London, a piece by Samir Atalla about the violence not only in Egypt but also in Iraq and Syria. And he looks at the reasons behind this horrific and steadily expanding situation. And he says that it's because from the outset our societies have viewed violence as a solution. And he says that evil breeds evil and destruction. And according to him, over the last 50 years, there's been this kind of violence culture that's largely been under silence. And so because it's not been addressed, this violence continues to spread, according to him. We're going to move on to Gulf News, which has a cartoon today, which is interesting. It doesn't really say exactly what country it's aimed at, but you see a dove there. Well, it looks like a dove. You can't see the top of its head. That's wandering aimlessly or confusedly through a labyrinth there. According to Gulf News, it's not going anywhere.
It looks rather stuck, doesn't it? Now, I saw this as a headline yesterday. The Queen has abdicated, and being a Brit, I thought it meant the UK one, but it's not. It's in the Netherlands, isn't it?
That's right. There's been an outpour of emotion in the Netherlands over the Queen's abdication. It came as a surprise move. There you see the Telegraph. They have a very special edition today. It says, "Thank you, Your Majesty." So yes, this wave of emotion over Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands. She's abdicated in favor of her son, Prince Willem Alexander. And in fact, that's what NRC, another paper, is looking at. The king and also his new queen, who's actually a woman from Argentina named Maxima Zorreguieta. Meanwhile, Volkskrant is looking at some of the best jokes that have been going around. Just 10 minutes after the queen said that she was abdicating, there were some wonderful jokes. This is, for instance, from Hema, which is a Dutch discount store, offering the queen some sort of a new throne. It would only cost 10 euros, as you see. And this one's for you, Stuart. This is a Photoshop photo of the Queen of England, who's saying to her son, oh wait, that's not the Queen of England. It'll be coming up soon, where you see the Queen of England talking to her son, Prince Charles, and she says, "Don't get any ideas, son." There she is.
There you go. I like his expression as well. Fantastic. Finally, Iran getting some press for sending a monkey into space.
That's right. This is in The Guardian, and there's a photo of that very terrified-looking monkey in The Guardian. Now, according to Iranian press, the Iranian official press, this primate was sent up into space, orbited around the Earth, and then came down intact. It was very much alive. The Guardian takes a closer look at some other animals that have been sent up into space, because this monkey was not the first at all. There have been other monkeys, dogs, worms, fish, even a jellyfish, I read. So this whole ecosystem. Now, The Guardian points out that according to Iran, their space program is very much for peaceful means, such as medical research.
Poor little monkey. All right, thanks very much, Florence, with the international papers here on France 24.